All right. So on your paper, just put your name, bless you, date, period 7. Now, this comes to you from section 8.5 in your book, and the topic is what am I spelling here? Trapezoids. The objective, our goal. By the end of this class, you are going to be able to do the following. In plain old simple, very easy to understand language. I can find angle measures in a trapezoid. Make sure you copy this, please. I could find angle measures in a trapezoid. We're doing one single solitary objective with one single solitary concept. And I'm writing everything down here because I'm recording this. And if you miss something, I'm posting it online tonight, so you'll see it. But listen to me very carefully. I have a reminder for you. And I'm going to write the word reminder. So on your paper, you're going to put reminder, and I want you to draw a trapezoid. You could make your trapezoid look like your own trapezoid. And what I want to remind you is, if this is a trapezoid defined by the fact that it's got at least one pair of parallel lines, can anyone remind me what the arrows mean on those two line segments? Raise your hand. Anybody? 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 You see? Say again. Parallel. Remember, the arrows mean they're parallel. Now, what if this had two arrows and that had one? Not parallel. Thank you. And that's crucially important because that's what tells you that it's a trapezoid. As long as it has at least one pair of parallel lines, you got a trapezoid. Now, that's not what I wanted to remind you about. Well, it is partially, but I need you to know that the two sides that are parallels, they have a name. The two sides that are parallel, they have a name. What are they? I'll give you a clue. It begins with the letter B. What am I writing? Yeah, they're bases. They're both a base. Now, somebody said base 1 and base 2. Who said that? Raise your hand. That was smart. But in general, I'm just telling you that they're the bases. And we say base 1 and base 2 to differentiate between the two. Now, those are the parallel sides. That's one pair of parallel sides. What does pair mean? Okay, you together. Yeah, when you pair some up. What else does pair? Like if you buy a pair of shoes, what does that mean? Two. You got a pair. You have one pair of parallel lines. That means you got two line segments that are parallel. Now, the next question is, what do you call the non-parallel sides? See if you remember. Anybody? Just call it out. You got the two parallel sides that are the bases. What do you call the pair of sides that are not parallel? I'll give you a clue. Tables have them. Chairs have them. Legs. Thank you. I need you to be aware of these vocabulary words. That's a leg. That's a leg. So when I talk about the legs or the base, you'll know what I'm talking about. Any questions? Are you writing this down? I can't get up to walk around and check on you, so I need you to remember that. We good? We good? We good? Okay. Okay. So listen to this. Now check this out. We now remember that we got the trapezoid, one pair of parallel sides, we got the legs. And I want you to mix that with the fact that we're talking about the, what does that symbol stand for? Yeah, we're looking for angles inside a trapezoid. I'm going to teach you one concept which could be applied to about 99% of your questions. So I'm going to write this out. You got ready for this? Okay, get yourselves, oh, here we go. And I'm going to write the word concept. I'm going to underline it and put a star by it. Because if you remember this, then you could do leveled problems that you'll see on the EOC. I promise you that. Ready? The concept. I'm going to write a concept in words, then I'm going to show you a picture, then I'm going to show you it in symbols, and then we'll do 2 examples. You'll have a couple problems, and that's the end of our day. You ready? The concept is this. I'll say it as I write it. Consecutive angles on the same leg. Okay, so consecutive angles on the same leg are what's the rest of that word? Supplement, yes. She said, look. I know you're writing, but can anyone remind the class what is supplementary? Yeah, adds. Okay, copy that down. I'll give you a second. Copy. Almost done. Okay. So listen, I have a word here that I think we need to look at. Can anyone remind the class what consecutive means of anything? Anything that's consecutive? I'll give you some of my salad. Okay. Consecutive means one right after the other. Like if I said to you on a number line, what whole number is consecutive after the number 9? 10. One right after another. What's the number consecutive to 9 going down? 8. Got it? Next to. One right next to the other. Let me draw a picture to make this more clear. You ready? So here it is in a diagram. Draw yourself a trapezoid, since the topic is trapezoids. Now somebody give me a letter. Huh? Okay, you said D, very good. Somebody give me another letter. Oh, you said L, very good. Can I get another letter? Okay, you said R, awesome. And anybody else give me another letter? J. Okay, so you said K, very good. So copy that down. Like, why do I even try? Write that down. Yeah. Okay. That's right. Copy that down. Copy. Good arthritis. Now listen, I gotta discuss. This is a concept. When you teach a concept, then you can do all the problems. I don't care what anyone says. You hear me? And I'll prove it to you in just a few minutes. First of all, I'm going to put this here just because it's proper. That tells you that those sides are parallel. Now I got a question for you. I have a question for you. Now think, because I'm going to ask you a question. It's a probing question. You ready? Can anyone give me an angle that is consecutive to angle R? Okay, pause for a second. I'll repeat the question. Can anyone give me, please, an angle? Andros, I need you here with me. Come on. Can anyone give me an angle that is consecutive to angle R? Okay, someone said K. Is that correct? Raise your hand if that's correct. Because the word consecutive means next to, one right after the other. Is K consecutive to R? Yeah, they're right next to each other. Is there another angle that's consecutive to R? D. That's correct. Next to each other. Is there an angle that is non-consecutive to angle R? That's non-consecutive. Perfect. Now listen to me. The whole concept is based on consecutive angles on the same leg. Remember from up here? This is a leg and that's a leg. We good? Well, let's see if you're good. I got another question for you. Can somebody give me an angle that is consecutive to R on the same leg? Say it again. D is perfect. Gorgeous. Listen to me. That is the concept of the day. And you think it's small? It's not. It's big. When you have two angles that are consecutive on the same leg, they are supplementary all the time. So here it is in words. Here it is in a picture. Angle D and angle R are consecutive to each other on the same leg. And this is the main concept. I'm going to create an equation from that. And the main goal, the biggest blessing you could ever do for yourself is learn how to create an equation. Listen, because the concept says the two angles on the same leg are supplementary. And somebody already told us that they add to 180. What does that look like? It means that the measure of angle, give me a letter. I'm letter on the trapezoid. Okay, the measure of angle R plus, if you chose R, plus the measure of angle what? What angle is consecutive to R? What angle is, let me finish. What angle is consecutive to R on the same leg? D. K is consecutive on the same base. So remember, that's a leg. That's the base. The concept says angles, consecutive angles on the same leg are supplementary. So what do I need to add R to get 180? Is angle D. Thank you. Pause. What does that sum add up to be? 180. You've created an equation. I don't care how difficult the problem is going to look. That is the basic concept. Okay. Would anyone like to take a stab at giving me another possible set of supplementary angles based on the concept of same leg angles? Someone just said what? Who said that? Who said that? That was you? What about K and L? Whose ding dong is that? Turn it off. You said K and L. What can you articulate? What about K and L? They're consecutive on the same what? So what does that mean? The measure of angle K. Who would like to finish that off for me? Equals 180. I love you for that. Thank you. Any questions with that? Okay, we're just learning concepts. We're chunking this. I don't want to overwhelm you. Doesn't have to be overwhelming. Write that down, because now we're going to look at two examples, and I'm going to release you, and that's done. We're done. If you could do this, you've done everything I asked you for the day. So here's an example. You ready? I'll tell you what. I'll make this easy for you. Take out the sheet. Take out your that stapled packet from yesterday. If you were absent, you already got one. Take out the packet from yesterday. Do that for me right now. Oh, you already have it out. Here it is. This is it. This is the big deal. We are down to the big deal. Look at number 1. Without me telling you, I just want to give you a chance to try. Okay, here's a trapezoid. Wait, does everybody have that? I'm going to zoom in. Does everybody have that? Caden, you okay, man? All right. Do y'all have that out? I want you to, bless you. I want you to try this. It's specifically, I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to give you a clue. It's asking for K. So I would say find K, first of all. Tell me when to stop when I'm at K. Good job. I'm looking for this. And the clues are this. Look at what you're being asked to find and look at what you have. You have this angle and this angle. I just got one question for you and then I'm going to let you work. Which angle do you think is involved to find angle K? Do you think it's going to be angle J or angle L? Okay, raise your hand if it's angle J that you need to use. Don't be afraid. Don't raise your hand halfway and look around and you see no one's raising their hand. I want you to tell me if you think angle J is the angle you need to use to find angle K. Okay, raise your hand if you think it's angle L that you need to use. Okay, I have like 3 or 4 hands. Don't be afraid. It's okay. Because if you ever forget, you go back to the concept. It says consecutive angles on the same what? Oh, there it is. Leg are supplementary. So if I'm looking for angle K, wait, where is it? Oh, there it is. Sorry. If I'm looking for angle K, which angle do you think is on the same leg? It's L. So if you raised your hand for angle L, or you were thinking about it, but you were too embarrassed, it's angle L. Because they lie on the same what? Okay, so you have to find that angle. Now, if I want to find angle M, which is right here, what angle, other angle do you think I need? J, because it lies on the same what? Leg. Okay, so now I'm shutting up. I want you to get that answer. Make sure you use a calculator. Go, 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 go. I'm going to pause this while you work on that. All right. So the question is, how do you find the measure of angle K? Now, okay, the fast way, because remember, the concept is angles that lie on the same leg are supplementary. So if these two add up to be 180, then how many of you just decided to do 180 minus 50, what is that, 51? That was it. What was the answer to that? I'm sorry? 121 what? Oh, 129 what? Degrees. Now, what I really, really wished, my personal wish for you is that you would have said this, okay? The problem looked like this. Now, here it is. Oh, let me zoom out. You had a trapezoid. Now, I'm writing it out because I don't have enough space to show you this. Real quick. Okay, this what was that number? 87? Okay, and this was M. And this what is that? Oh, here's my glasses. Hold on. This will help. This was what? 51. That was K, that was L, and this was J. One of the characteristics of the highly proficient student is they would learn that they would remember the concept. Cohen said consecutive angles on the same leg are supplementary. That means the measure of angle K plus the measure of angle L equals 180. And you're thinking, oh, that's a lot of work for what? But I need to establish that our main goal is to create the equation, then substitute. What are we going to substitute here? Well, do we have a value for the measure of angle K? No, so leave it the measure of angle K. I'm developing a concept, and you'll see in the last example. Do we have a value for the measure of angle L? Which is 51 equals 180. So if someone says to you, why did you take 180 minus 51? And there's the reason. Because angles along the same leg are supplementary. And you kids can solve equations better than I can. Minus 51 minus 51. Mr. Davis, you got that? So we got the measure of angle K equals what? I'm sorry, what is it? 129 degrees. That's the full package. The last one was the measure of angle J plus the measure of angle M equals 180. Right there, two angles on the same leg. We don't have a value for M, but we could say the measure of angle J, which is what? Plus the measure of angle M equals 180. How do you solve that? Minus 87, minus 87. Finally, the measure of angle M equals, what is it? 93, 93, 129. Any questions with that? Any questions with that? Andros? Okay, here's the real challenge. Here's the real challenge. I love this problem. It represents what you'd see on the USA and the EOC. This is leveled. I know this because I looked on the released test from last year. You ready? I want you on that piece of paper. I'm going to say copy this. That way you're not restricted to that little space on the paper. So, example. I'm combining words. Find this. What is it asking you to find? Measure. Thank you, of angle R. And here's the diagram. I love copying because you got to get used to copying, because on the test, all the problems are on the computer, so you're going to want to copy this down on your scratch paper. Now this is the challenge. If you can't read it, all I did was I copied number 4 on your paper. But I didn't want you to do that because the space is restricted, and I want you to get practice in copying this. So the goal is set up the proper equation, and pause for a second, pause, look up here. When I say set up the proper equation, what I'm asking you to do, it's an extra step, it's extra work. This is perseverance. I would like you to at least show that you understand the concept that angles along the same leg add up to be 180. So that's your general concept right there. Then you make a substitution. Any questions with that? So they want you to find the angle of measure R. So the general equation would look something like this. Like on the other leg, the measure of angle P, don't write this down, I'm just showing you this, plus the measure of angle S equals 180. Now they're not asking you for P and S, but that's the concept. Can you do the same thing for the other angles and then substitute? Because that is the concept. Angles on the same leg add to be 180. How can you create the equation? And I'm going to leave that up to you and do that. If you have a question, try that. You could work with a partner. You could. I'll help you. I'm going to pause this. This is a leg. That's a leg. How do I know? Because those are the bases. It's got the parallel symbol on there. Angles that lie on the same leg add up to be 180. What other angle with Q lies on the same leg? Is it P or is it R? Those add up to be 180. So all I'm saying is the measure of angle Q plus the measure of angle R equals what? 180. A lot of you did that. Then what is the measure of angle Q? It's that value right here. What is that? That's 12x plus 3 plus the measure of angle R, which is what? 7x. Is it plus 13 or minus 13? Minus 13. And what does that equal? A lot of you did that, but if you didn't, any questions with that? Question. Any questions? All I said was I know that these two angles add up to be 180. So whether they're nice, neat numbers or they have variables in them, I'll add them, set it equal to 180, and I've got an equation. Some people did that, but they didn't know how to solve. So when I solve an equation, I add like terms, like what's 12x and 7x? And I add the numbers, like that's a constant, that's a constant. Now, if you don't know 3 and a minus 13, just take your calculator and go 3 minus 13, it gives you minus what? And that equals 180. So go ahead and solve. Add 10, add 10. So 9x equals 190. Divide by 19. Divide by 19. I hear people saying it already. I saw this on your papers. And we're not done. Because they're not asking for x. So if they're not asking for x, this is important. What does this value become? Input value. You kids call it a plug-in value. But where do you plug it in? That's where you have to go back and look at the question. The question says, find the measure of angle R. Well, angle R is right here. That's the question. That's the angle in question. And that's a plug-in value. We found x to equal 10, did we not? And we're looking for the measure of angle R. It says it right there. So why not go ahead, and if you want to show everything properly, you'd say the measure of angle R equals 7x minus what? 13. Substitute. That's going to go. What I do is I put a parenthesis around the x, and I take away the x, and in its place, what do I put? 7 times 10. I'm showing my steps. And at this point, I grab my calculator, grab the old calculator, grab it, and you're just going to say 7 times 10 minus 13 equals whatever you just said. Here, I'll put my famous 3 dots. The measure of angle R equals what? Final. And with all the numbers and circles and arrows I put down there, when you see the 3 dots, that means Cohen, that's what I want you to grade. That angle is 57 degrees. Done. And if you wanted to know this one, just take 180 minus 57 if you wanted to know Q. What is 180 minus 57? Yeah, it'd just be 123 if they ask you for it. So 123 plus 57 does add up to be 180. Whew, I don't know, I think you could handle it. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video, but before I do, the expectation is that if you would do a problem for me, I'm going to give you a problem to do. I'm going to write the problem down. And the problem that I want you to try on your own is the following. You could do it in class, you could do it at home, bring it back. Here it goes. You ready for this? I'm going to give you the trapezoid. You're going to have to draw your own trapezoid. Copying, copying, copying. I don't want to make any mistakes. Notice I put 13x minus 7 and I put the arrow. That means that this angle is 13x minus 7. Also, if I put 8x minus 2 and I put the degrees and I put an arrow pointing here, that means that this angle is that. My question is, can you find the measure of angle Y, find the measure of angle X. And if you could do that right there, You could do it before you leave, show me, but if not, we could show me tomorrow. Remember the concepts of angles along the same leg. Add up to be 180. And I'm going to end this recording. Hallelujah.